Dude, this guy knows exactly where I'm at. Oh, God! AR ammo.
I do too. I only got 20 bullets.
Yo, what's going on, guys? So today we're going to be going over the best Season 7 aim tips for Fortnite Battle Royale. The reason that I want to go over this is that the game has changed so much in the past couple seasons, even just from last season, that this is like necessary. It's crazy how much it's changed. Now with that said, I want to make sure that I get across the reason I put the clips at the beginning of this video is because I want to say, or I want to show you guys that I have the credibility to speak upon this subject. Right, I see a lot of videos saying best this, best that, but they don't have the clips to back it up, or they don't seem like they have the credibility to really speak upon it. So I just want to show you guys that, and I'm not trying to sound arrogant, I just did that so that you guys know that I can talk to you about this subject. Now with that said, I am a little sick, so I apologize if my voice is kind of scratchy. I'm definitely a little congested this morning, but I did promise you guys daily uploads, so this is going to happen, and I'm going to get this done. So with that said, I am going to be going over efficiency, consistency, and methods of practice for shotgun aiming primarily, but these tips can be generalized and be used in more ways than one than, just solely shotgun aiming. So with that said, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so let's start with consistency. How can you be more consistent with your shot? One of the best ways and best tips that I can tell you guys is to invest in some kind of Kontrolfreak or extended thumbstick. So with the Elite controller, I have the accessibility to use an extended thumbstick, which achieves the exact same thing as a Kontrolfreak. It's just a little skinnier, and I personally like the feel of that a lot better. Now keep in mind, I'm not sponsored by Kontrolfreak or anything like that. I am simply talking about this because you definitely need this. I'm talking about this from experience. Kontrolfreak extends the range of motion in which you are able to basically achieve greater aim with. So if we take like a normal thumbstick, right, and you push that thumbstick all the way to the left until you hit the rim of your controller, the amount of force that it takes for your thumb to achieve that is very, very small, and that's because the thumbstick is very low to the controller rim itself. By using an extended thumbstick, it's going to require more force from your thumb in order for you to reach the end of the and touch the rim, right, with that same stick. What this does is get you closer to what PC has, right? PC has a mouse. They have a huge range of motion. So if they want to flick shot very slowly, then they can, right? They can just move their little wrist. But if they want to, they have to turn all the way around to build, then they can throw their entire arm across their mouse pad. And so, like I just said, it's a greater range of motion. So with a mouse, they have to use more force to use, turn all the way around, but less force to make smaller movements. So it's the exact same principle with the thumbstick. Is if I want more force, it's just going to require a little bit more force to hit the rim. Therefore, if I want to make little small precise movements, then I use a little bit less force. So once again, it just allows for a greater range of motion and allows for me to have more control over if I want to do a large movement or a small movement or any variation of the two. My second tip for consistency is going to be to have a low sense. So I'm not saying that if you play in a high sense that you can't be consistent. Don't assume that. Obviously, there's going to be outliers. And if you're playing on 10-10, for example, that's great. Good for you. But if you want to be the most consistent player possible, in my experience, a low sense is going to achieve that. Look at players like Gronky, for example. He is probably the most consistent console player I've seen, at least for Xbox. I think he's the most consistent in hitting high kill games and just not choking mid-fight. This man plays on like 6.5 or 6.6, 6.56, something around those lines. I play on 7.7, and personally that's the highest I'm ever going to go again. I used to play on 9.7, but I realized that, yeah, I have days where I was doing well, but I also have a lot of days where I wasn't doing that well. And that's all caused by the inconsistency that comes with a high sensitivity. Low sensitivity in general is just more consistent, and I've already seen myself hit much higher gameplay in terms of kills ever since I lowered from 9.7 to 7.7. My third tip is to avoid flick shots at all costs, or as long as you can. There's going to be situations where all you can do is flick, and that's fine. And this is in contrast to, let's say, my other video, I think it's season 4. I made an aim tips video, and in that video I talked about how important the flick shot was. Well, this is the thing. There's a much lower skill gap back in season 4 compared to now. And with that lower skill gap, you could get away with doing flicks, and you wouldn't really be punished too much. Now, the skill gap is just ginormous, and the player base is much more skilled and much more competitive. So if you want to have a consistent shot and consistent aim, then just avoid flicks and go for normal aiming. And once again, lowering your sense is going to help achieve just that. Now, moving on to efficiency, the first tip I have is to make sure that your jump is mapped to something that is not going to force you to take your right thumb off of your thumbstick, because doing so makes your aim inconsistent. It makes you have a pause in when you can turn around and look around and shoot, and that's obviously bad. You want to have no stress, minimal stress. So minimize the movements, the complications of your movements, and the easiest way to do that is to have your jump mapped to, let's say, a paddle, if you have the ability to do that, through an Elite controller or a scuff. But if you cannot do that, then go ahead and take your auto sprint feature, turn that on, and then make your left stick jump. Personally, I don't like the way this feels. That's why I bought an Elite controller, but that is a way to do it if you don't have the financial ability to do so. My second tip for efficiency is to stay as calm as you possibly can. The way that I personally do this is to listen to music, focus on my positioning, just focus on angles. I try my best not to throw myself in situations that are going to make me rage or make me miss a shot and cause me to rage, anything like that. You always want to play smart. Just listen to music, chill, don't stress about missing a tiny little shot. And you'll see some of the clips that were even in this video, I missed like a shot by a very small margin. And my voice audio is on. I didn't complain about it, I didn't scream about it, I just focused on the next shot because I know I have to. And if I get mad, I'm probably going to miss the next shot. So just stay calm, that's the best way to handle that situation. Once again, listening to music, the music that I used in this little montage edit, I guess you could call it a montage, that's the type of music that I listen to all the time when I play, just because it relaxes me. Just choose something that makes you sit back and just chill. Now lastly, methods of practice. Back in Season 4, we didn't have access to things like challenge games or creative mode. So personally, I would take advantage of the challenge games area within Playground that has, you can spawn bots, right, that run around, and with a controller you can use them for practice with your aiming. You don't have to be crazy with this, just do simple jumps and shotgunning, and just get a feel for it. I would recommend doing this with like anytime you change any sensitivity, do this challenge game and just get used to the feel of it, and then go on Playground. and just, you know, practice it with actual pressure situations. So basically challenge games, lots of pub matches, and then a specific way to play the pub matches that personally helped me a lot with my shot and my gameplay in general was to make moderately aggressive edit plays. You can see this in the clips all the time where, you know, I have low HP, I'm kind of like stuck in the situation where if I don't edit out, I'm probably gonna die, and so I just go ahead and make the edit play and go for the shot. And most of the time I was hitting my shots, to my surprise. So just go for, you know, step outside your box, go out and try these moves that you wouldn't normally do, and that's going to inevitably evolve your game, not just in terms of your aiming, but in terms of your overall gameplay as well. So with that said, guys, I hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did, make sure you do drop a like. It really does help out the channel, and I really do appreciate all of you guys for watching. Also, shout out to my Twitter at @Trypal_YT if you want to hit me up there for 1v1s, or just follow, you know, shoot me a follow and just stay in touch. That's cool too. I really do appreciate all you guys once again for watching. It means so much. And with that said, guys, do enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.